Greetings, fans of the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast. All four of you, maybe five. I don't even know. I don't know how many people watch this show. I hope it's more than five. Uh, I'm not in my normal, happy, hyped, mood for a review. I I kind of feel like somebody gave me a puppy for Christmas and then shot it right in front of me. That's how I'm feeling right now. But we'll get to that. If you watched NXT, you may know what I'm talking about. But we'll get to that.
Well, I don't.
Yep.
Well, if anyone's watching it live, I don't think they probably watched NXT, and they probably don't know our secret.
Well, you could have, but you didn't, and that's your own fault. You're gonna have to wait till you watch it and be all sad. But anyway, let's start off this review. Let's not waste any time. I feel like we did the TNA review pretty quick. Well, sort of. Feel like it was quicker than usual, but anyway.
I,
Um, what's that?
I'll tell you off. I'll tell you off camera.
Okay. All right. Well, we opened with a video package, basically about Hideo Itami's feud with the Ascension so far, leading up to last week, Finn Balor's debut. Um, I thought it was a pretty good video package for WWE video packages. I think in general for wrestling video packages, some of them are okay, but they get kind of old after a while. What did you think of the opening video package?
Um, I think it. Excuse me. It let me see the whole situation with what was going on. Obviously, I didn't have a clue going in to last week, which was my first episode of watching NXT, my first time watching. I didn't have a clue what was going on anyway. So I think this actually let me see like what went down beforehand and what got us to the point we were, where we were, why everything was going down like it was.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought it was a pretty, like I said, a pretty good video package in general. It didn't, it didn't bore me like some of them do. Um, but we open up with, I know I'm saying we open up twice, but if you have a problem with us opening up twice, shut up. Um, we open up with Finn Balor's entrance. I actually thought this was a pretty cool entrance. I really like his music. It's kind of it's cool. I don't really know how to explain it, but I like it. Um, Gets in the ring with a mic. He says, "My name is Finn Balor," and he says he's here in NXT because he is the future. Um, you know, could be. You never know with WWE. Sometimes they decide you're the future, and then a week later they're like, "No, next guy." Um, but Tyson Kidd interrupts him with Natty by his side. Yep, we got to see Natty this week. Um, Kidd says that he's sure Finn has a riveting story to tell, but unfortunately, Tyson doesn't care. You know, I don't think Tyson cares about anything except himself. Um, but the crowd starts to chant Natty's wife or Natty's husband. You know, typical. We always get the Natty's husband chant from the crowd, so we got it this week. He said, Finn's been here for about a cup of coffee, and Kid is supposed to believe that Finn is the new guy now. Um, Kid says he was brought into the business the right way as a heart. So I guess the only right way to come in the business is as a heart. I don't know. I think you can come in other ways that are just as good, But that's just me. I don't know. Um, he says he came in the right way as a heart, and as a heart, which I mean technically he's not a Hart, but I guess he married into the. I don't know. I guess we're splitting hairs with that one. Um, he says, as a Hart, one thing he was taught was respect. Says which Finn clearly lacks. The typical, trying to get heel heat. And I actually think he's doing a pretty good job with it, with the, cocky kind of character. I know last week I said I didn't really like him. I didn't really like his character, but I mean, I guess it's kind of growing on me slowly. Um, then we have Justin Gabriel comes out. Of course, I guess I don't know if they're officially a tag team now, but they seem to always be together. Justin says that Tyson is absolutely right. He says it feels like every week some big international superstar arrives and thinks he is the top guy, which kind of didn't really make sense to me. Because I mean, we do have Kalisto, who's an international superstar. We have Finn Balor, who's international, but they've they debuted kind of far apart from each other. It wasn't like one week then the next week, and we haven't had that many other international stars coming in really, except for like Hideo, but he's been there for a couple weeks now too. Um, but again, just kind of building up that heel heat. Justin says that Finn has to get through them, and they will basically they're going to show him how far from the top he really is. Um, and the crowd chants, "Who are you?" I thought that was a kind of a funny chant. Um, I don't want to go too much. I don't want to bore people with this, but uh, I'm just gonna say it was a good opening segment. Kid and Gabriel eventually do get in the ring, and they corner Finn in the kind of corner him, uh, looking like they're about to attack him. Beat him down. Usual heel tag team tactics. When Hideo Itami's music finally hits and he comes down. So now we have a fair 2-on-2, but Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel, being the heels that they are, want nothing to do with a fair fight. They kind of get out of the ring, kind of wanting to retreat, and a referee gets in the ring and kind of leans over. I think it was the second rope he leaned over, talking to kind of a stagehand guy there with a headset on. I guess talking to William Regal from the back. William Regal makes it an official tag team match, so we have Justin Gabriel and Tyson Kidd versus Hideo Itami and Finn Balor. What did you think of this opening segment?
Well, first off, when Finn Balor came out, I liked his music. I did. I was jamming out to that music. I thought I wasn't jamming out, but it was a good song. Um, I liked it, and it was. I'm really not into like new music, and usually when someone's music debuts, I'm like, I hate this, and then it kind of grows on me. Like Seth Rollins' theme, I didn't really like it that much, and then it grew on me. So I kind of liked this at the beginning, which was kind of weird. Um, I thought it was nice for him to get his name chanted on his like after his debut, during his debut match or whatever, before his debut match, I guess you could say. It was nice for him to get his name chanted. I thought that was pretty cool. When Tyson Kidd came out, Natty looked happy. I don't know if she was happy to be with Tyson or happy to see Finn Balor, because the storyline I know is, her and Tyson are having problems, but she was actually happy when she was out there. So I don't really know what kind of happy she was at that point. It's nice to see Justin Gabriel, because I hadn't seen him in a while. Is he a heel? I guess he is a heel.
He,
Because I didn't know he was one.
I think they just kind of threw him into being a heel because they had nothing else for him.
Yeah. And then the who are you chance was that was pretty funny. That was original.
Yeah, yeah. I felt like we had some really actual good chants that were deserved this week. A lot of times the fans just chant whatever they feel like when they're bored. Um, but I thought it was a pretty good opening. What?
Chant, let's go Cena. Cena sucks because that's like the most popular chant ever.
No, but I thought it was a good opening segment. Um, I At first when Tyson Kidd came out and then Justin Gabriel came out, I thought we were gonna have one of the typical like authority opening segments where somebody comes out and then somebody else comes out and then somebody else comes out and then at the end of the segment you have like 10 people in the ring. But luckily that didn't happen. We're good. So we have now Justin Gabriel, and I should say Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel because Kidd's kind of the leader of that tag team, versus Hideo Itami and Finn Balor. I keep saying Baylor, but it's Balor. I don't know. Um, Hideo starts the match with Justin Gabriel. Gabriel quickly tags in Kidd, but Kidd doesn't really. He does the typical heel, doesn't want anything to do with Finn Balor, and tags Justin Gabriel back in. I feel like they're just using Justin Gabriel in this tag team as kind of a jobber, I guess. Like with the dynamic between the two, you can tell that Kidd is more of the um, leader of the tag team, and Justin Gabriel is kind of like the sheep. Whatever Justin or Tyson does, Justin's gonna do. But Baylor ends up knocking Gabriel to the canvas. He gets on the top rope. I guess he was gonna go for the big diving double foot stomp. But Kidd drags Gabriel out of the ring, out of harm's way. And then Finn hops down and he does, out of nowhere, does an RKO. No. Out of nowhere, he does a beautiful suicide dive over the top rope. He actually did a really good one onto Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel. A lot of guys that do top rope suicide dives kind of barely make it over the top rope, but kind of like the Usos do, they kind of barely make it over. But he did a really good one, I thought. Then we have one of the many network commercials for different things that they're trying to sell. We come back with Finn Balor having Justin Gabriel in Baylor and Hideo's corner. He tags Hideo in. I did like that Baylor and Itami had really good frequent tags. They look like they're a good team together and they know how to work together, which I think is. I'm sure they've had tag team matches together in Japan or whatever. I don't know. I'm sure they have. So you could tell there was a chemistry between them. It wasn't just, WWE randomly throwing two guys in a tag team together. It looks like it worked. Gabriel and Kidd did have control of Baylor for a while. They did a good job of kind of keeping him down and keeping him isolated from his corner, which I liked. It kind of shows them as a good team as well, being heels, keeping him from his partner. Kidd goes for another clothesline, and Finn ducks it and does another Pele. The announcers called it a soccer-style kick, but Alex Riley called it a Pele, so I was right. It's a Pele. I win. Booyah. Which was nice. I think AJ Styles used to do a similar one. Um, haven't seen AJ in a while because he's in Ring of Honor now. But um, Hideo and Baylor do another pair of really nice hesitation drop kicks in the corners. I don't know if that's going to be one of their things that they always do in every match, but I really like them. And then Baylor from the top rope delivers his double foot stomp from the top rope on Gabriel to get the pin. Um, all in all, this was a pretty good match. A little bit slower than usual. I expected to see a little bit more offense from Finn Balor and Hideo Itami, but I guess it's kind of building up a better, feud between the two. I guess if they're doing this, I don't know if they just kind of are forgetting about the feud with the Ascension or what's going on here. Um, but we'll see. What did you think about this opening match?
Um, well, a couple of things I thought about this match. From the way it started, like I've said this in previous videos, like I'm really into the technical aspect a lot of times, and just the way it started made me feel like it was going to be a good match. And plus it made me feel like, I mean, I just looked around. I was just sitting there like looking around the ring, and I'm like, there's some talent in this ring. There's some real main roster talent just in this match alone. um the missile drop kick by Finn Balor looked really nice. I think Finn Balor looks really crisp. I haven't seen him before, so I think in the ring he does some good work. I'm already excited to watch him, and that's a main reason there. When you can, have good sequences and stuff like that, that makes me excited. I feel like, both of these teams, like I said, could help the main roster's tag team division a ton. Um, I think there was some nice time given to this match. The bicycle Pele type of kick. Um, I don't know, for this Pele kick, it's kind of hard for me to call it a Pele because I'm so used to seeing it, delivered a certain way, but the way AJ Styles does it he does like a straight up backflip with it. It's just it's different, but I like it. I still like it, and I'll still call it a Pele because I have nothing else to call it anyway. So and I feel like this is what the main roster needs. This must be really what the main roster needs because I wrote that down twice. So this must be really something that the main roster needs is some good tag teams like this. And these tag teams, it seemed like they were working together really well. I know that the commentary said something about Finn Balor and Hideo Itami working together in Japan, in previous times. I remember hearing that. But I don't know if Kid and Gabriel worked together a lot, but I thought they looked pretty good as a tag team as well. And Finn Balor's double foot stomp is out of control because that thing is nice. It looks like it hurts.
It
And
looks like it hurts both of them actually.
yeah, yeah, like there's a couple people who can hit a good, double foot stomp, especially low key. And
Oh.
Finn Balor's got me going now with his.
Yeah, I think they said that Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel had a tag team match at WrestleMania 28. I don't remember that match, but I guess they did. I'll have to go back and watch WrestleMania 28.
That's probably on the pre-show. That's probably what it
For
was.
just $9.99. I
It was
had.
probably on the pre-show.
I'm sorry, I had to. Um, any other thoughts on this match before we move on?
No, that was it.
All right. The announcers talk about the main event, which is the NXT Championship match, which we'll be getting to. They show a video package showing clips of Neville and Zayn's match last year for the #1 contendership, which Neville went on to win and become the champion. I didn't think that was a year ago, but they said it was. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago. It doesn't. Well, it seems like it was long ago, but it doesn't seem like it was a year ago. because I know when I first got when the network first came out, I know Bo Dallas was still NXT champion, and I didn't think that was a year ago. It doesn't seem like it was that a year ago, but yes, we got thumbs up for whatever. Then Zayn is interviewed in the backstage area and asked about his thoughts with his championship match tonight. He says he has lots of thoughts. He could talk about how he thinks Neville has been a good champion to this point. But above all else, he says he feels like tonight is something different. He said he feels like it's destiny coming together, and that tonight will unfold exactly how it's supposed to. So I don't think it was supposed to unfold the way it did, but he says it, whatever. Then we have another commercial. We actually had a commercial for a new DVD coming out called Queens of the Ring. It's like a new movie, I guess WWE Network or WWE Studios is doing. It looks kind of interesting. Did you see the preview for that?
Yeah, I saw that. When they said Rosa, I was like, "Is this on Rosa Mendez?" I was like, "They got like a movie on Rosa Mendez? What are they doing?" I was a little excited and a little confused at that point. But then none of them looked like Rosa Mendez, and I was like, "Oh, it's some other Rosa."
What did you think?
But I think it would be interesting though. I would watch it. I definitely would.
Yeah, yeah. What did you think of the video package and the interview with Sami Zayn?
I like the video package, and I kind of wish I would have saw that match in real time last year. I guess I can go back and watch it, but it looked like it was a really good match. It really did. And as far as the interview goes, all I gotta know is who is this interviewer? Because there's always new people doing these interviews.
No, I can't
But
even keep track of all these people. I'm like, who the fuck is that now?
yeah, I was wondering who this interviewer was because I was like, I've never seen her before, but
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna give DJ this match because it's special to his heart.
even though in the bed he wanted to take Sasha Banks over me, so in the bed you wanted to take her for yourself.
Hey, you wanted Brittany, okay?
All right, so we got Alexa Bliss going up against Sasha Banks, and first thing I thought of, Sasha Banks was coming out. I was like, this song, yeah, I'm liking it. I was head bobbing and everything to this song, so I like Sasha Banks' song. Alexa Bliss as she comes down to the ring, she makes me really happy. Blowing all the glittery pixels and whatever. She's blowing stuff, and it's a cool thing. I like it. The corner double knees by Sasha Banks, incredible, great. I loved it. The sunset flip by Alexa Bliss looked like she almost killed my girl Sasha Banks, and you can't be doing that. But it looked ridiculous. It really did. It looked like it hurt a little bit. I don't know if she does that all the time. I'm not really sure. This is my first Alexa Bliss match, I think. Yeah, I think. Yeah. Anyway, backstabber into the what they call the bank statement. I thought this was really smooth the way it really flowed together. Like it's Sasha Banks is doing it. Because I thought it was really smooth, really fluid. Just the way she went from one move to the other. Thought that was cool. I felt like this match was short, but I felt like there was enough in it for me to not feel like, oh, that was a Divas match. Like if it was short, but it wasn't like, well, that sucked. So
yeah. It was short, and I'll be honest, I didn't think it was as good as the tag team match last week. But I did like the sunset flip that Alexa Bliss did. Just the way she kind of snapped it over, it looked kind of more devastating than just a normal sunset flip, which was kind of cool. I also liked Sasha Banks did kind of a surfboard submission on Alexa Bliss, which Alexa was able to kind of flip over and get a 1 count, I think it was, on Sasha, which that was kind of cool. Showing some different moves that you don't normally see in Divas matches. I felt like they could have given Alexa Bliss a little bit more um, offense in this match and made it a little bit longer. But I understand what they were doing in making Sasha Banks look more dominant, getting ready for to eventually challenge Charlotte for the NXT championship or women's championship. Um, but it was a good match. I'm kind of I felt like Becky Lynch kind of looked a little bit better, this week. I was like, "What's up, girl? How you doing?" Um, but Alexa Bliss is my girl. I can't, I'm not like somebody over here who's like, I don't want this one, I don't want this one. I I pick one girl at a time. Multiple dates a week with different girls, but one at a time. You
Whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute now. No, don't try to bash me over here,
know.
Mister. Mister, I'll take. I don't even know. I don't even remember what the tweet said, but no, there were two girls in that tweet. I only got one. I only got one. I only had Brittany. So you had two girls. You had Sasha Banks and I think it was Alexa Bliss actually. I can't remember off the top of my
Yeah,
head.
it was Sasha Banks, Alexa Bliss, and then I was gonna add somebody else because you were gonna add.
Are you kidding? Come on, man. This isn't fair.
But it's not all at the same time. Like one of them gets a date on Monday, the other one gets a date on Tuesday. It works out. Come on now. Anyway, um, so yeah, Sasha wins this match via tap out. Um, let's see. Becky Lynch joins Sasha Banks in the ring, and Sasha grabs a microphone. So we're gonna have a little talkie. They don't just look good; they talk too. That sounded horrible. I'm sorry. I'm not sexist. I anyway. Sarcastically, she looks at Alexa Bliss. I guess Alexa was walking up the entrance because they didn't actually show her. Sarcastically, Sasha says, "Oh, are you okay?" Kind of building up that heel. Then Banks says she hopes Charlotte was watching that match because she has what Sasha wants, which obviously is the NXT Women's Championship. She says, why don't we make this official? Or, why don't you just, hand it over? Because, Sasha's just going to beat her and embarrass her anyway, you know? And she's going to show Charlotte and the entire NXT universe why Sasha Banks is the baddest diva in NXT. You know, I thought it was a pretty good promo for Sasha. Um, I haven't seen too many promos from her. I've seen a couple, um, but mostly it was with Charlotte back when they were a team. Um, but I thought this was a pretty good promo. What did you think of it?
All I could think was, "That's my baby." No, not really. That's not really. Not really. Honestly though, I don't know. I'm gonna have to get used to Sasha Banks' voice because it's different. It's not different. So I like the promo though. She was killing it. So she's gonna win the championship, and then I'm gonna really be like, "That's my baby." No.
All right. Well, apparently your baby is gonna win the title, which she is, but I don't know if she's gonna. I don't think you're ever gonna get that date. I really don't. I'm sorry. You know, it's
Famous, darn it.
it's not you. It's her. She is just. It's you deserve better.
It's all her fault. I'm just too good.
Anyway, moving on. Adrian Neville now is interviewed in the back by this person. I forgot her name. We don't know her name. I mean, I know her name. I just can't think of it right now. You know, we're just gonna go with interviewer A or interviewer B, depending on who it is. He says that Sami Zayn is a good friend, um, as everybody knows, which is why everyone. He says also that Sami Zayn always gives 100%, 110%, I should say, which is why everyone loves him. Because he never gives up. He always gives that 110%. He says there is one fundamental difference between the two of them. Sami just can't win the big one. We'll get to that a little bit later because that's a little bit. It's still a sore mark in my heart right now. What did you think of this interview?
Isn't can't win the big one? Wasn't that a similar storyline WWE did not too long ago? I swear they did that not too long ago with someone else.
I
can't win the big one. It just sounds so familiar to me, but I don't remember who
they've
it
done
was.
it multiple times, like with different people. Yeah, I know what you.
What's the most recent one that I'm remembering? And I'm like, it feels like they just did this, even though NXT is its own brand and all that. But it just feels like I remember seeing it not too long ago.
Yeah, I do too. I just can't think of. Was it Daniel Bryan?
Maybe, but when I think of Daniel Bryan, all I think of is B+ player. That's like the main thing that they had me thinking of when it was Daniel Bryan. I can't remember.
I I want to say because I think the B+ player started after he won the title and they screwed him over. I think before that, before he won the title, they were saying he just can't win the big one, something like that.
Makes sense.
But I don't know. Any other thoughts on this interview with one Adrian Neville?
No, that was about it.
All right. Next we have a match, a tag team match. The tag team champions, the Lucha Dragons, which for some reason that name just doesn't sound right to me. When I think dragons, I think like Japan, and I think more of like luchador style from like Mexico. I don't know. Versus Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy. Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy have had a couple matches in the past, tag team matches, but I'm not saying that Blake and Murphy are a bad team or not a good team. It's just something about them just doesn't jump out at me. They don't really impress me to the point where I'm like, oh, that's a team for me to remember. They're just kind of there for me. Tonight they were pretty good in the match. I was kind of impressed, but still not enough to be excited for their next match or anything like that. Also, a little bit off topic of this specific match, Jason Albert, aka Tensai, said that the difference between the Lucha Dragons and the Ascension is that the Ascension can adapt and they can do the ground and pound, they can also fly. To which I say, they have never flown, they've never been to the top rope. They do freaking chop blocks and the same moves over and over. They're like John Cena, pretty much, which sucks because I've seen the original NXT. I saw them on there, and they were both really good. I I feel like they kind of put them in a tag team and dulled them down a bit. Just kind of gave them a basic move set, which sucks because, like I said, back when they were on the original NXT, they were pretty good, uh, from what I remember. But they did a very good job isolating Kalisto from Sin Cara. Um, I like the Lucha Dragons. I like Kalisto a lot more than I like Sin Cara. Um, I feel like Kalisto is more exciting. He does more innovative moves. Sin Cara has just kind of grown to bore me. Um, it was cool when he first debuted because it was exciting. He was supposed to be this big star from Mexico coming over, and then I guess with the original Sin Cara getting injured, and then they had another guy, it just kind of screwed it up, and I just haven't been that big of a fan of Sin Cara since then. But I really like.
Also, you gotta, and I don't mean to interrupt, but I just thought about this and I didn't want to forget it. Sin Cara is a lot bigger than Kalisto, like a lot bigger, like as far as just taller, if anything. And I think it looks cooler when the shorter guy does all those crazy moves. Um, I
Yeah,
just think.
yeah. I feel like they can fly around better. I feel like even when they do their entrance where they run down and jump over the top rope, it's almost like I feel like Sin Cara is not going to make it one of these times. But Kalisto has absolutely no problem getting over the top rope. But there was one point in the match where Murphy does a monkey flip. He monkey flips Kalisto, who flies over Wesley Blake and kind of does a sunset flip. It was one of those things that if you didn't see it, you just have to go and see it. It was kind of cool. Just a combination. I didn't really write too much about this match in general. Like I said, I'm more a fan of Kalisto than the other guys. So, and he didn't really have that much really exciting offense in this match as he has had in the past. So it was an okay tag team match. What did you think of it?
Um, I kind of liked it because it was my first time seeing the Lucha Dragons. And, the first thing I thought of was like, well, at least Sin Cara is doing something. Because, Sin Cara was kind of, this big, like you said, it was this big time thing. Then, he gets kind of buried, switches people, literally. He switches, the person under the mask is not the same person as it was before. And, I think he's still trying to, get his professional wrestling life back and stuff like that, So I don't know. I like Sin Cara just because I haven't seen him a lot. Even when he was on the main roster, I don't think I really even saw him a lot. Um, a couple of spots that I thought of here. I think it was probably just yeah. The nice reversal of the DDT into the suplex. I thought that looked pretty nice. I think it was either Blake or Murphy who did the actual reversing there. And the tag team moves in this match were they were nice. I thought anytime you can do some nice fluid tag team moves, I'm kind of into it. And then the corkscrew that Kalisto did was just ridiculous. I don't know if you saw that, but
Yeah, I forgot
crazy.
about that.
Yeah,
The
it
one, the
was.
one over the top rope.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like he's so small. Like I guess that's why it works so well. It's kind of like, would you rather see Sin Cara do, the trampoline thing or El Torito do it? It's like I think I'd like to see El Torito. Plus that's a long way for El Torito to go, so it's kind of a bad example.
yeah. I thought it was cool because like he didn't go like over and kind of go far. He kind of went over and was still close to the ropes. I thought he was gonna hit like the edge of the apron. It just looked. I was like, oh my god, he's gonna like break his shoulder or something, but he managed to make it work. It just looked cool.
Yeah. Also, it looked cool. Like, and I don't know if you were still talking about the corkscrew, or you were talking about Sin Cara trying to get in the ring, or
No, the corkscrew.
okay, yeah, I liked how he jumped from the inside. He jumped onto the second rope and then jumped outside of the ring. I thought that looked cool because usually, you see him go straight to the top rope, or they'll, jump off the middle one, go to the top one. But I thought that was really cool how he did that.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on this match?
No, that was it. That was it.
Right. Now, the Vaudevillains, which I don't think you've seen before this, are interviewed and asked their thoughts on the Lucha Dragons win tonight, which just happened. Aiden English says, first of all, let me remind you, we are the number one contender Vaudevillains. So, don't forget that part. Um, he had simply this: congratulations on your continued success, but he and Simon Gotch have a message. Gotch says, Sin Cara, Kalisto, keep the gold shined and the leather oiled, for these titles will not be staying with two children. They will be going home with two men. I kind of liked this um, interview. Just it was different, just with Simon Gotch talking about leathering or um, keeping the leather oiled and the gold shine. You don't get like guys talking like that anymore. It kind of reminds me of like old school wrestling where the belt really meant something, and like even with Macho Man Randy Savage talking about the Intercontinental title, he wouldn't say the Intercontinental title, he would say the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. It just makes it feel more important than really is anymore. What did you think of this? Kind of just being introduced to the Vaudevillains. What did you think of this interview?
Um, the only thing I could think of during this interview, I like that character. I do like the way it was and stuff like that. And speaking of that, is the screen always black and white when they do interviews? Because I thought that was pretty. It was different and it was cool. Because like it wasn't. Not only was it black and white, but they made it like the screen was messing up too. Like it was like an old timey TV or something. I thought that was really
Yeah,
that was really cool.
they do that with their entrance, kind of that old school. It almost reminds me of like the NWO used to have just the black and white when they would enter and their entrance. But it, like you said, almost has that like grainy, um, old movie type feel to it. Um, were you saying anything else? I didn't want to interrupt you on that one.
Oh no, that was it. I was just interested in that. That seemed pretty cool. I think I haven't seen him in the ring yet, but I feel like it's gonna be a good match when they.
Yeah,
I haven't seen anything to complain about from NXT yet, so
yeah. Um, Next we have they show a split screen of Neville and Sami Zayn both heading to the ring for their match in the backstage. Um, I like when they do this. They don't really do this as much anymore, where they would either show two superstars heading to the ring from the backstage, or even when they used to show guys arriving to the arena or whatever. I know they did that. TNA did that a couple weeks ago with Bobby Lashley for the championship match, but they don't really do that. They don't do really much anything backstage anymore except for like stage interviews, which kind of bothers me. I used to like the kind of give you an idea of what backstage is kind of like, which was cool, but unfortunately they don't do that anymore. Um, any thoughts on this split screen? It was quick. It wasn't really anything too much.
yeah, I actually blinked and didn't even see it. No, I'm just kidding. I like this. I do. I do like the split screen type of stuff. I love that stuff. It gives it that, and it shouldn't give it this feel because professional wrestling had it before MMA did, but at this point it gives it that MMA feel because MMA does the split screen stuff more than professional wrestling does now. I like that the pre-match stuff, like where you see him warming up or something in the back, getting ready to go out to the ring and stuff like that. I do like that stuff because I agree with you. I think it does give you that backstage feel. They're like, okay, he's ready, she's ready.
Yeah. All right. And next we have the NXT Championship match.
There was
Sammy.
one bright spot in this match, okay? There was one bright spot in this match. That's all I got for you.
Okay, we'll get to that. Uh, Sami Zayn and Adrian versus Adrian Neville for the NXT Championship. It was noticeable that Sami Zayn looked very more relaxed and confident in this match, like he was ready. It started off slow, um, but it showed Sami Zayn being really confident, like I said, in this match. They clearly know each other very well. It wasn't like they were just kind of going at each other or not sure. They definitely knew each other very well. And Adrian almost looked surprised at Sami Zayn, like he didn't think he would be as ready as he was. Um, I don't remember how. I didn't write too much about this match, not because there's not a lot to write about this match, but I didn't want to look away from the screen and miss anything because I was so pumped for this match. But somehow Neville got out to the floor, and Sami Zayn did his kind of thing where he jumps on the top rope and fakes like he's gonna dive, but does a flip back in the ring, which I don't know even what that's technically called, but it's cool.
Or nah, springboard.
It's like a fake springboard thing, but it's cool. I like it. And the crowd starts the Olay chant. That's one thing I'm surprised with WWE is the Olay chants originated from him being in Ring of Honor, and normally when a wrestler comes from another company and the fans chant from something from their like prior gimmick, WWE a lot of times tries to cover it up, but I feel like they don't cover that up anymore. They just kind of let it go, which is cool, I guess. Just something I wanted to kind of throw out there. While Neville is out on the floor, Sami Zayn holds the ropes, kind of inviting him back in the ring, which I thought was kind of a nice, show of respect. Fortunately, he doesn't take it and he jumps over the rope, kind of, playing mind games. This was a very kind of slow, methodical match, kind of keeping each other grounded. Which normally I don't like with guys that I know can really fly around the ring and do a lot of quick moves. But in this match, I liked it because I didn't want them to be a win via mistake or accident or something funny. Unfortunately, but we'll get to that. I actually heard, I don't know if you heard this, but I heard some fan in the crowd yell, "You guys used to be friends," in the middle of the match, which I thought was hilarious. We did get a legitimate "This is awesome" chant. And we were talking about chants before. A lot of times fans will just start chanting things when they get bored with a match, but this was a legitimate "This is awesome" chant because it was a really good match. Neville was able to reverse both the Helluva Kick and the Exploder Suplex in the corner. Zayn rolled out of the way of the Red Arrow, in which Adrian Neville, he hurts his knee, and the ref does one of these, which I don't know about y'all, but I always thought this, just automatically stopped the match. He's injured, he can't compete, get medical attention out here. But that didn't happen. No. Sammy goes to check on him to see if he's okay, because he's a good guy. He's a good guy. He cares. But, Adrian don't care. He rolls him up and gets the 1, 2, 3. So he retains, and then after the match, he kind of rolls over and puts his arm around Sammy like they're still good buddies, even though he kind of just screwed him out of the title. And Sami Zayn just kind of did the same thing I did, just kind of sat there and in disbelief. What just happened? Why? Well, I don't know. You give him your thoughts. I'm
All right, so let's take a. That was a bright spot in this match, pre-match, I guess. You know who was announcing the superstars? Anyway, we ain't gonna even get into it. Just think about it. Just think about it. You'll probably guess it, and it wasn't Sasha Banks. So just think about it. Just think about it. All right, but I love how Zayn hit the or nah springboard early. The fake springboard, like you said. I love that. That was cool. I never seen anything like that. I was like, okay, I'm a fan. To me, Zayn looks a little bit more cocky than I think the world, because seems like one of those dudes is like, I'm the best. I don't care what you think. But I don't know if he's really made, if he's booked that way or if he's supposed to be that way. But when I look at him, I'm just like, even when he was, doing the respect thing, like by pulling down the ropes, I'm like, he knows he's got this dude in control. Like, yeah, come on back in the ring so I can beat you. That's just kind of how I felt about, how Zayn. It just seems like he looked like he was kind of he was a little cocky. I felt like it kind of looked that way. It probably wasn't that way, but to me personally, it felt that way. And I take it that Neville is supposed to be the technical heel here because he was getting not really booed, but I guess he kind of got booed. He wasn't really well liked by the fans, I didn't think.
Yeah.
One thing I love is technical little guys. I love that's still a thing in wrestling. I love that, you don't have to see the high flying thing all the time, because if you see two little guys, what are you going to see? High flying, over the ropes, all that. Now, don't get me wrong. That stuff's fun. I love that stuff. But, every once in a while, it doesn't even have to be for the whole match. It can be for a couple of, for a minute or two. Like in this match, where it wasn't the whole match that was like that. It was just that little portion. Like, I love that. I love that technical, that the little guys can still be technical. It shows that the little guys can do other stuff besides, jump over the ropes and try not to hurt themselves. The catching somersault elbow attempt into the powerbomb by Sami Zayn was really, I love that. And, the ending to this match, it made me cry a little bit because I went into this match thinking, Zayn is going to win. I am excited. Yes, Zayn. I've watched this show for a week, and I was already like, please let Zayn win. And I love Adrian Neville, especially his freaking, I don't even know what the name of his finisher is, that ridiculous move he does.
Red Arrow.
What is it called? Yes. Oh my God. Yeah, how? I don't understand. How does he do it? But I love that move. But Zayn, the way they were booking him, at least for the past week, it seemed like, he deserved it, right? That's how I felt. And just not this way, man. Not this way.
Yep,
Oh, did you guys guess? I don't know if you guys guessed who the bright spot was in this match, but
I have no idea. Please share with us.
obviously, obviously it was JoJo. Obviously, yeah, she was announcing, and I'm like, first I didn't know she was there. I was like, wait a minute, was she there the whole time? Was she there the whole time? That was a main question of mine. I didn't see her until that match, so I don't really know if she was there the whole time.
Oh, because I think I didn't pay attention to that, but I think the other matches, um, is it Eden? Eden? Whoever's
Okay, yeah.
married to
Stardust. I mean, Cody Rhodes.
yeah, yeah, the one half of the Dust Brothers. Um, yeah, so I didn't really pay attention to that, so I don't know. But that made you happy, so at least one of us is sort of happy. I want to see what I really hope they don't just kind of uh, forget about Sami Zayn now. I hope they can at least continue this feud to a point where he does finally win the title. I hope they build up this feud because you can see that, Adrian Neville he still claims to be friends with Sami Zayn, but he clearly cheats and, does whatever it takes to keep the title. So I hope they continue it because Sami Zayn does deserve to win the title. And that would give Adrian Neville a chance to go up to the main roster and help out the main roster more.
But what do you do with Neville when he goes to the main roster, though? Because like I don't see anyone who could be world champion right now. Um, as much as I think there's a ton of people in this on this show that have a ton of talent, I don't really see anybody like I can't put the world heavyweight championship on them and say that looks good. I don't.
Well, I think if they brought him up and kept him as more of a heel, I think he could have a really good feud for the Intercontinental Championship. I don't know that he would have a really good feud with Rusev, but I think for the Intercontinental title he would, because right now isn't Dolph Ziggler is the Intercontinental Champion now, right?
Yeah.
So I think they would have a really good feud if they did that.
And I got another question for you, and I just started thinking about this as I was watching it. So we talked about Shane McMahon if he came back and all of that. That's for another time. But this is more about NXT, and this is more about what we get in NXT compared to what we get on Raw and stuff. With Triple H, kind of being the heir to the next heir of the company or whatever, being the one who's probably going to take over when Vince stops, whenever he feels like he's old enough to stop or, God forbid, passes away. Do you feel like we're going to get what we get in NXT on Raw? And not only that, do you feel like we could see like more world champions coming from this smaller, I hate to say it this way, but like independent type of style? I don't like to stereotype him like that, but that smaller style.
I hope so because if you look at it this way, from what I've heard is Triple H, NXT was kind of his idea, his baby. So and that worked out, and they do a lot more wrestling-based stuff on NXT. And also, the big main difference between Triple H and Vince is, most people don't think about Triple H, pre-WWE, but he had to work up. He had to, train to be a wrestler. He had to work the indies, and that was back like the early 90s, when it was it wasn't as easy to just go to NXT and become you really had to work up. So I think just by him going through that, actually going up, and Vince, the only thing Vince really knows is WWE. I don't think he cares that much about the indies. He doesn't care about other promotions, which it's like if you opened up a store, you have to care about other stores that are your competition because you have to make good sales. You have to be competitive with them, and you can't be competitive with somebody unless you know them well. And I think Triple H would do better with that. Um, Paying attention to what TNA is doing, what Ring of Honor is doing, whose contract is coming up on NXT, or I mean TNA, whose contracts are coming up on Ring of Honor. See, who could we sign next? Who could we bring in? And I think Triple H would give the smaller guys a chance because I feel like he knows that that's what the fans want. We don't want I mean, it's cool to have the big super heavyweight guys have matches, but we don't want all of our top guys to be John Cena or Batista or
Yeah,
because
because I feel like Vince McMahon's pick. So let's say we got to pick a younger guy who's gonna be who would Vince would want to be his next world champion. I feel like Rusev is that type of guy that Vince would be like, yeah, that's who I'd like to be the world champion. And as far as like Triple H, as much as they did the B plus player storyline stuff like that with Daniel Bryan, I don't think Triple H was even mind. I don't think he even I don't think it hurt him at all, like emotionally or business wise, to give Daniel Bryan that title and to put him over in the same night. Like I don't think that hurt him at all. So you can kind of tell where Triple H leans a little bit because although the Royal Rumble kind of got them in that predicament as well, but
yeah, and, it's like I think he sees that the average WWE fan isn't a big jacked guy. It's guys like us, and I don't know about you, but me personally, being a fan, I like to see guys that yeah, whatever. I like to see guys that more remind me of myself. Um, Guys like Batista and John Cena don't remind me of myself. I'm not. I want to see guys like me who aren't the biggest guy in the world, but can go. And 9 out of 10 times they compete 100 times better than the big guys. But we'll get more into a discussion of Triple H and Shane McMahon and the McMahon dynasty in another video that we'll have coming up. But any other thoughts on tonight's sad ending?
I think that was all. I did like that, and I don't know. I take it you've noticed this. I don't know how long it's been there. I didn't really notice it last week. I just happened to notice it this week that they have LED aprons. I just noticed that like this week. Have they always had that?
They started that maybe a month or two ago, and I remember the first time seeing that I was like, that's gonna get broken real easy. Not intentionally, but somebody's gonna go out to the outside and accidentally hit it, or I don't know. It's cool, but I think it's it's not necessary. Um, but WWE does what they want. Uh, but it was pretty cool when I first saw it. I don't really notice it that much anymore. But I think that's the end of our NXT review for today, which what is even the date? 11/13/2014. So we'll have to see what happens next week. Hopefully they continue this feud with Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville, and I'm excited to see more of Finn Balor and Hideo Itami, see what they do, because they really have excited me in the first 2 weeks of Finn being there. Um, and I knew he was coming in before you did, so I was kind of a little bit more excited prior to last week, but it was one of those things where a lot of times they build up a guy's debut and then their debut isn't as good as you expected. But I think his debut and his match this week were way more than I would have ever expected. Like, it was awesome. So I'm really excited to see what they have in store for us. Any other thoughts or anything you want to say to the lovely people of our channel?
All right, guys. You know the spiel. You know the deal. You know what's trill. Just made that up just now. My name is DJ Bill. Ha ha! No, but seriously, follow me on Twitter if you'd like. Feel free. Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast. We going. We taking over, baby. No. But seriously though, feel free to follow me. Feel free to watch more videos more than once. Show your girlfriend, then watch it again or something. Anyway, watch whatever you want to. You know what I mean? Watch the videos. Go back. If you like it, let me know because I want to know. You know, I want to know. He wants to know. We want to know. Haha. You know. So feel free to follow me on Twitter. Share the video, and any way you see fit. And yeah, there you go. That's all I got for you guys.
Yeah, go share the video. Follow us both on Twitter. Add us on Google Plus if you want to. And if you're a wrestling fan, or if you happen to be an independent wrestler or something like that, and you wanna come on the show sometime as a guest, let us know. Message us. We'll let you come on and speak your mind. If you think we're idiots, we'll listen. You're wrong, but we'll listen. But yeah, follow me on the Twitter. It's down there. And keep tuning in for videos. If you have any suggestions, let us know. Any questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the comments or on Twitter or in a bottle. Write it on a note, put it in a bottle, throw it in the ocean. Maybe we'll get it, maybe we won't. But we take all your suggestions and criticism and marriage proposals very seriously. We do. That's about it. I don't really know where I was going with that, but we will be back with more thrilling and riveting content for you, our loyal fans. Yeah.
All right. See you guys. Love you guys.